Hey guys, it's FallenDice, and this is episode 14 of FallenDice Plays Better Than BuildCraft. And after all our fun End and Enderman and Dragon fun stuff, I thought it'd be a good time to get back and do some Better Than BuildCraft things. And what I decided to do today is we're going to expand on our factory. So we're going to put our third floor in, and I think the third floor is going to be a lot of hemp. Whether or not I need that much hemp, we're going to do that. I want to put my wheat farms above my uh, cattle breeding pens. I'll still have a way to divert it to just save it, or I can just use the one I have in the second floor of the factory for that, and just use the breeding one or the wheat over at the breeding factory just for breeding. But as I was or not, I shouldn't say researching, but as I was planning how I was going to do my hemp thing, I kind of started out by going back to the original sugarcane idea and deciding how would I do this with just straight up better than BuildCraft. So first of all, there's no water involved. Um, when our stuff drops in, it hits these obsidian pipes, which sucks them in, and then with 2 layers of directional pipes, which I then use my wrench to angle them so they all go down, and the bottom one comes this way to prevent it from kind of going up and back and forth. And it actually wasn't that much to make directional. I was wondering how, in BuildCraft, I think it took iron ore or something like that. But in Better Than BuildCraft, it just takes uh, 4 of your. Well, here, we'll show you. You just take 4 of your regular transport pipes, and then you take 1 lever, and your 4 regular pipes with 1 lever become 4 directional. So by adding 1 lever, you get 4 of the directional pipes. And like I said, so if you were to do this, you would kind of be getting like this loop, or you know, it wouldn't quite work out the way you want to. But using your wrench, just make sure the top ones are all pointing down. So now anything that drops in, and then we're going this way, so we need to make sure, I'll go back this way, okay. And then going like that, we are exactly where we need to be. So at this point, if I were to take anything, like say my redstone, and what did I do? Oh, I didn't. That's why you have to make sure with the wrench. Now it's all going this way. So we'll come back over here. We'll pick them all back up. And of course, you can always put your chest here. But yeah, now we'll do that again. Okay, or we can throw a wrench. But there you go. So using this method, we did that for in here. We put the golden transport powered. So now, if we come up over here, looks like we are probably, it may actually happen while we're doing this. So you know what, just so we can watch it happen, I'm going to trigger it here. That way we can actually see it happen, and then I'll go explain how I did this. So we'll just go ahead and put the extra one in. And why did it do that? See, right when I'm showing it, that's when it messes up. A million times it worked just perfectly, and that one time it didn't. Well, anyway, you can see now it's working good. So what we have here is our detector block comes in, and there's a gap here. Above the gap is our dispenser block, and it's got like a single full block in it. And then we have repeaters coming off either side heading to power our pistons. And then it's really simple again, using a water wheel. which it's throwing our better than wolves into our BuildCraft, give us our better than BuildCraft. With a turntable, it keeps powering our little redstone here, which then goes into this vertical wiring, and that's what's keying our dispenser block. So these are only powered while the dispenser block is actually in place. So this prevents it from getting in the locked position. Because while this is going here, when this loses power, it sucks the block back up, which then releases our pistons, so that once it gets powered again, there's no longer anything in front of it, and that causes them to retract. If you remember in the our initial design, we were using a RS NOR latch with one detector block here and another detector block at the bottom that was detecting when the items were going down, and a lot more complicated than it needed to be. As you can see, this is just as simple, and you can forget about this here. This was something else I was working on. That's not necessary. And what's going off over here is just feeding the next one. So technically, it could have just gone straight over here, up the vertical, and we saved a ton of space and made it a whole lot simpler just doing this. And then, of course, by using the piping now, we can actually put in our diamond pipes over here and allow us to specify, what goes in what. So this pipe can connect up with that one, and it can be using one single pipe to send stuff downstairs from all of our different farms. And then once it gets downstairs, then it can be diverted. So using that, we came over here, and this is such a tiny little one. This is what we're going to be doing for our hemp. We're going to be building these today, and we'll see how many I can fit upstairs. But it's doing the exact same thing, only because this one's only using 2 torches instead of the 3. We didn't have to invert the signal. It's actually taking the signal coming in. So once again, these grow up. As soon as the one over here gets to full length, it will send power over to here, and while this is powered, it has a block down there, it'll activate our pistons, dispense or knock everything off its stalks. It'll get picked up by our piping, brought over here. So again, nice and clean, not taking up a lot of space, and not a whole lot of complicated wiring. It's actually, in my mind, rather simple wiring. Over here, I was going to try, and I still may at some point try to do this, but it unfortunately isn't going to be simple. No matter how I was trying to think of doing this, it, it wasn't turning out simple. My initial idea was to have the use a T flip-flop on this one, and the initial power would power it, and then it would also send to an AND gate over here coming off of our turntable, which would be feeding a dispenser block with like 6 or 7 half slabs and 1 full slab, so that it would go through the time and give me my 20 seconds I needed for the water to be coming down here to wash everything away. But I would get I was just having problems, and I'm gonna have to think about it some more and figure out how to do it, because I'm probably gonna need multiple AND gates. And the problem is my reasoning for trying to do this was I was hoping to save all the space of all the repeaters that we used when we did our design. And if I need to use multiple AND gates, that takes up space, and by the time I'm all done, I might as well be using almost as much space as I was before. So it really didn't give me what I wanted. So I'll come back to that. Maybe if I can figure this out at a later date, I'll put it in one of my video here to show you guys how to do it. If someone else comes up with a good idea on how to do this, by all means, send me a video response, or just kind of show me how you did it, because I would love to be able to share it, how to do that one. Right now, it just seems like it's not going to be the space saver that I wanted, and that's the key thing. I could make it work, taking up as much space as I need, but I wanted to make it a tight little modular setup so that I could put multiples next to each other and have them all independently operated, as opposed to the way I have it right now, where whenever the sugarcane activated, it would activate these. So anyway, two nice new designs. So we'll go ahead and put this one into our world. Um, and then in addition to doing our design here, we will also, I guess, decide how we're going to make our third story look, because I never quite planned out the design on the walls and stuff up there. And I don't think I'm going to keep going straight up the same width, because I'm not looking at like a giant skyscraper tower, so it's probably going to get narrower as we go up. So I'll kind of figure out how I can place this. At the moment I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and if I put an eighth block in there, that'll separate them, make them all independent. So each one will be 8 wide, and then I'll see how many I can fit up there, and then we'll kind of plan out the wall first, and then we'll start building. Alright, I'll see you over in the real world, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and I have been working pretty hard. Oh, did not mean to do that. As you can see, I've actually got quite a bit of fuel built up now. Oops, can't go this way. Let's see, we'll head down. I had pretty much all of my oil reserves were all filled up. This is empty now, this is empty, this is mostly full, and this one's mostly full. So I have actually drained a couple of these. My new oil well's been working rather well. And we've also been, while we were refining, and I've had no accidents since I installed my newest failsafe. Like I said, we've also been mining. Put in a new door over here because I was tired of the long way around. And I also decided to change my bridge over here to the good old-fashioned, or the old-fashioned, to the glass one, like I had been doing in my Ender farm. So we're down to this point now at the good old quarry. Got a lot of nice new holes over there. We'll have to go explore them. I'm kind of excited to widen this a little bit more that way, and I think that this is probably going to make a really, really, really good mob farm. So I can be able to go up high and then come all the way down. Have plenty of room for multiple layers and stuff, so that should work out really well. So, anyway, that's the catch up as far as where we are. Now, we'll head up top and see how many of these I can fit in. So I'm curious to see if I can go 4 wide. But yeah, we'll head up here. I really do need to make a better stairway heading up to this area. We'll get around to that eventually. Maybe kind of like a Bathasay does. Maybe I'll make something down in the middle with like either ropes to climb up or something. I'm not, I won't say I'm not afraid to use other people's ideas. I just don't like to use nothing but other people's ideas. So if there's a good one, I'll go along with it. But I'd also prefer to try and come up with some of my own stuff as well. So let's see. Now the fun part, you get to listen to me count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. The interior is 35. So 32 would give me 4 of them with like 3 extra spaces. Kind of like each one could be even an extra spot in the middle. Or we could do 2, a gap of 3, and then 2. The other possibility, I don't like this odd number because I'm trying to go for 4. Because if I were to take the, I don't know how many tree stumps. the tree stumps in, say 2 spots over here. I don't have anything to build with, but it would kind of narrow in the. You know what? I'm gonna go get some wood and some timber, or some planks and some logs, and I'm gonna play around this a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I decide on, and then we can get started on it. All right, so first off, looks like we are gonna keep the same width for at least another level. Things fit better. Second off, I went back and looked at it, and technically each one was only 7 wide. The 8th block was to divide between the two so that the redstone wasn't affecting each other, but on the outside that wasn't required. So we have 7 here with the break, 7 here with the break, 7 there with the break, and then 7, and that gives me 2 blocks to walk around on either side. So this is going to work just fine. The second thing is, seeing as we are not using water, we're not limited to the 8 blocks. And also that was another reason why that I didn't mention over there, which is the good reason for using the piping. You don't have to keep dropping down a level every 8. I can keep my one pipe all the way vertical, all the way across, and not ever have an issue with that. So I can make these hemp areas as long as I want. So what I would probably end up doing, find our middle. We'll make a little cordon off, like a little pathway that we're going to be walking on. And then we'll end up with 8 of these. That'll be fairly long. And all of them will kind of meet up. And they are going to have a central drop area. And if you can guess where, yeah, it's going to be using the same one over here. So it'll be a little bit off. The ones over here will end up coming down and meeting up with that pipe, and so we'll just have one single pipe heading over to drop the items down there. But yeah, so I'm gonna do some more math. Math is fun. And we'll figure out exactly where we're going to place our pathways and everything, and then I'll come in and give you an update on where we are. Alright, so here we are. I didn't like fully line them out because this is really not the material I'm going to be doing the bases out of, but it kind of gave me the gist of it. And I went ahead and reversed what the lower level was as far as the walls, and looks like we'll probably go up one more level. Not sure what the top floor will be. I don't know when I'll do it. It's a pain in the butt. These ceilings and floors are huge. I don't want to do it again for a while. But anyways, let's go down, let's take a quick nap, and then we'll head out and show what this looks like from the outside. Alrighty, I'll head out the back door here. I think that gives us the best view of this. Alrighty, and there we are. And it looks weird right now because you get those two, but I really do think that once that third level comes up, it'll probably look better. It'll match a little more and look even more ridiculously huge. Alright, so now what we'll do is, I guess we'll go ahead, we'll gather our resources, and I'm gonna have to go out there and chop trees down again. I replanted my tree farm a couple times again, getting more of the wood resources to continue to build this. So go get like a regular axe, chop all these down, and then we can start working on the first of our hemp, call them pods. We'll be building a total of 8 of them. And yeah, all right, so I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so here's what we got so far. I've decided to raise up the center walkway by a block, which with the 2 levels of my ceiling slash floor will allow me to conceal the piping. That'll be the transport pipe that'll be sending all of the hemp, and more than likely just hemp, unless I decide to put something else up here over. Those 4 spots here will collect here, head over this way. These 4 will collect here. One single pipe heading over to here, and we'll deposit it down the hole in the bottom where it can collect with all my other goodies. Um, what I decided to do is put in my water wheel up here. I guess I'll probably have one on either side. I needed like 5 spaces on the back anyway, and I may have to shove this over a little bit, but if I put the detector on the left and the left, and then over here on the right and the right, that frees up a big amount of space in the center that I can use for my water wheel and my turntable. So again, we'll see as we go. I may have to adjust this and move it over, but this part's the easy part. Um, Actually, it's all fairly easy. It's just a matter of, squeezing it in the space. But all we're doing here again is just getting the clock going. And it's not really what would you consider a normal clock, but I need the on-off to turn on the block dispenser so that I don't get my pistons stuck in the on position. So the way I'm setting this up is I should have 13 or 14 on either side. So I mean we're going to get a fair amount of hemp growing in this setup here, and it should look cool once it's all done as well. So, but the big part was making sure I had my clock set up here again so I can control everything. Now that I have that, we'll go ahead. I'm going to start using the stone brick again because I want to continue on with the pattern as it down there. Plus, I don't think it's... I'm not a big fan of having the same material for both your wall and your floor. It just seems kind of lazy again. Some of my words sound kind of mean, but I'm more referring to myself. I know some people may not have the, we'll call it the imagination, they don't see things that way. I unfortunately do, and I would have a hard time walking through looking at this. So we'll be putting this into stone brick like downstairs, and then we'll start on our first module. The entire outside will be one solid wall going around, and that might not be stone brick. We'll see. Let me think about this for a little bit. Alright, so here we are now. Detector block is going to be going there. So it looks like we got 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, so 24 pots per group. So 8 of those. Yeah. It's a lot. It's late. The numbers aren't working in my head right now. But yeah, it's a lot. So over the side here, this is how it'll look like. I already have the redstone run. I'll end up covering that up again. That's open right now just for ease of passage. You can see the redstone's there. Put some more stone brick over the pistons, so I'll do this all the way around. It'll be a uniform look. I've also dug up here because above each of these rows here, we're gonna have to put the grow lights to allow them to grow indoors and all the time. And the redstone will have to go running across it from over here. So we have that set up now. Now the next thing, as you see, this will be an empty space between the two, so I can build a walk over here. Maybe I'll put a door or something in. Now the next part is to set up our mechanics for this. So detector block coming in here, sending out the signal. Put the dispenser block will be like right above this block here, probably over there. And then we'll just have to level this off, send our redstone signal off to power these pistons, and then we'll be able to plant some seeds. So let me work that part here out, and we will be right back. Alright, so here's how she looks on the outside. I had to go ahead and drop it back down one more because I forgot I'm working with hemp, not sugarcane, and they only grow 2 high, not 3 high. So again, you can't really tell there's anything there, but if I jump, oh, no. If I go up here, then you can see there's redstone. And while it looks like that redstone is being cut off, this here is actually the backside of a stone brick stair. So the redstone signal is able to make it through there. Come around. Actually can't see it from there, but we can see it from back here. I'll get rid of a lot of this as I go. Well, anyway, yeah, there's a stone stair there. See, we got our signal coming off of our turntable, which is using the vertical wiring. I got some redstone running across the top there, and running across the top there, which is powering our dispenser block. As you can see, we've got the redstone coming out of our detector block, and then the 2 repeaters going off in opposite directions. The one here is going into there, which is, yeah, it's feeding up there. This here once again is that stone, or I mean stairs, which allows it to come up top there. Alright, so anyway, I can stop jumping around. Alright, so that goes up to there, and this one goes over to here, and it basically mirrors that. I just have it covered up and hidden a little bit. Up top, we've got our lighting, our grow lights with the constant power being fed from a single torch. Then I can, once I stop falling off my ledges, I can then close this all up now. But anyway, I can do that later. I went and grabbed some of my sugarcane from downstairs. See? Poof. Grows, poof. Grows, poof. So we are fully functioning now. Now the only thing left to do is to go manufacture some obsidian pipes, which, luckily for me, I have lots of obsidian, and I still have quite a bit of my soul urns left. As I start winding down, I'll have to go on another clay safari, however you want to call it. Yeah, I have to go get more clay. But yeah, I believe the recipe for the obsidian pipe is 6 obsidian, 3 on each side, and I know it takes a soul urn, and probably takes like a regular. No, let me look this up real fast. Find out the exact recipe. Alright, so it's the 6 obsidian, 3 on each side, 3 glass panes, and then a single soul urn. Again, so I'm going to need 12 of the obsidians, and quite a few of the iron, or not the iron, the directional, and then some regular ones. So I guess we'll head back up to my normal area because I don't have any of the soul urns down here, and we'll go manufacture some. Alright, so maybe 2 rows of iron, and then 1 of the obsidian. And then we use this because I want it going down. Put you, you know what, I'm just gonna, what the heck? I got that weird bug going again. Alright, seeing as I've already got all the stuff built in, it's gonna be easier if I just do the bottom and then point them all out. So let's see. Yep, you're pointed out. You're pointed out. Get them all pointed out. Alright. And then we put the next row in. Oops. Ay, don't do that. Why? They break too easy. I don't like that. Alright, you're pointed out. You're pointed out. Okay. I gotta do it one at a time to make sure I get it set the way we want to. Otherwise, we'll have items that are just gonna keep uh, going in a circle, and that's not good. I did have it. Sorry, I know this is boring to watch, but we want to make sure we do it right. Uh-oh, how am I short one? Oh, that's why. Put it somewhere it didn't need to go. Okay, I'll get rid of this once I come back. Eh. It's glass. It's easy enough to replace. Flowers growing in my pots. Alright. And then before we assume it's all done correctly, we're going to test all of these. Get rid of that for now so they can all collect on the ground. Okay. Let's see. So far, so good. Again, all we're looking for is to make sure that they don't come up in another pipe. Then that means that we have the direction set up wrong somewhere. Alright, so they all went through. Then I guess the other thing would be to make sure they're not caught in the bottom somewhere and that they actually all fed out. And did they? No, you are all captured there somewhere. Ugh. Because I don't have this coming out. I need regular transport pipe. Did I bring any? Do I have any downstairs? Alright, so now now it's coming out the right way. So we did definitely have it done correctly. I just needed to have the output. Apparently that didn't suffice. Alright, so what I also will end up doing is maybe over on the bottom, making me move again, kill this. Do I have any redstone torches? I don't. That sucked. Tell me, do I need a sticky? I do need, okay, but at least, that sucked. Okay. We'll have to make our way back up. I completely spaced what it was I was talking about. Oh, this looks cool, doesn't it? Not harvesting right now. I'll come back for it. Upstairs, upstairs. Alright. So, anyway, what I was saying, put in a redstone torch there, and instead of the transport pipe, put a golden transport pipe here, and it'll shoot the items down. Not necessary, but I think it's cool. Alrighty. And I just realized I don't even have my hemp seeds, do I? Nope. Alright, be right back. Alright, I got a stack of hemp seeds. I really want to go to bed. Um, it's not super late, but it's definitely late enough. And I just want to finish this. So it's like, even though I should have been in bed hours ago, my stubborn streak prevents me. I am going to get my seeds planted. That way I can let it run and see how many how much hemp I can get overnight. I'm kind of curious to see what my yield is. But okay, there we go. Now we can go ahead and seal everything up. Pretty sure that's, yep, nothing else I can see. And I'm okay with like leaving the gaps now because with the light coming out, that should pretty much prevent anything from spawning on me. I guess I should probably replace you with some stone brick to keep the decorating style going. Let's see. Alrighty. And there we go. There is our finished, well, finished for now. Let's see. We'll go ahead and run this over here. I'm thinking kill you, and then I'm just gonna stick you right there. Do I have another couple chests? I don't. But you know what? I have wood. I could have run downstairs, but sometimes being lazy isn't really as bad as other times. Walls the same color as your floor. Lazy that I can't deal with. Putting down another crafting table so I don't have to run all the way back. I'm okay with that. So, alright, again, we are done with our first one. I think now that the first one's done, the other ones will go a lot quicker. I understand how everything will fit together, and I don't have to reinvent this part. I just got to kind of copy. But I think the goal will be to get at least 4 banks done, and then run the piping to get everything over to our hole over here. We'll probably end up doing is kind of having, you know, kind of run to here, and then I got wood, make it the same. And then of course if we just go like that, everything should just kind of pop out and drop down. That's the goal, or I mean that's the thought though. So we'll see how everything works out overnight. And then, like I said, then I'll go ahead and build the other ones just so we have at least the first side of this, and that should look pretty cool, I think. Wish I could have gone straight up, but I'm okay with how this is. I mean, it's necessity. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go to bed for you guys. It's gonna be about 2 seconds. So I'll see you in a sec. All right. So our little hemp farm is growing along nice and well. let it run overnight, and get a few stacks of it. Lots of seeds. Again, the thing about most of the items here in my factory, they're not going to be like super fast, super high yield, let it sleep overnight and I've got chests full of stuff. The thing about this is while I work on other projects around here, because, I'll be doing my breeding stuff, I still haven't done my sheep, my cows, pigs, all these other things that I can, oh, downstairs, all these other things that I can do and use for some of my Better Than Wolves, Better Than BuildCraft stuff. So that's what all this is for, is to collect those while I'm doing other things. Plus, I think they look cool. So, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to be filling this and this all up. I'm going to make this entire floor hemp. That way I can get plenty of rope, plenty of fiber, do some other, eventually we'll probably find a way to turn it off, but for now, I want to get like chests and chests and chests of hemp. Now, I have decided what I'm going to do on my 4th level, which means, yes, I am going to have to go through and put up my walls as much as it's gonna it's gonna suck so bad. Well, I say that, but not really. Just gonna take a little bit, but we'll get the walls up, and then on, say, probably on this side, we're gonna do cactus, and I have an idea for a multi-level cactus in one single farm. So like normally what you'd end up seeing is someone would say, you get your sand block here and you put your one cactus there. Once it grows up to the 2nd level, it falls into the water. But my idea is to, let's see, we'll go here. Instead of just a blank block, we're going to put another. They don't grow on sandstone, do they? Well, we'll only have to put, like, say, sandstone there, and then, because this is going to be a taller room, and then we'll say we'll put, whoops, we'll go ahead and put our sand there, another cactus. So at the moment we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we'll look into this. The thing is this floor I think is 6 high anyway, which means it probably will work. So we can have them offset to kind of get a bit more cactus going. And then this side is going to be our automatic tree farm. And I spent some time going over my design for this. I've done some looking online. What the heck is that noise? Oh, it's the turntable going around. Okay. I'm like, I finished placing the blocks and I keep hearing the bop, 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 like more blocks are getting placed. I'm like, what is going on? Alright, so yeah, so I've come up with a design for an automatic tree farm. And again, it's not going to be like super fast, like, can go to bed, come up with oodles and oodles of wood. It's, as one grows, it'll shut it down, and I think I'll probably have maybe like, what, 12, 14, or 16 trees growing, or spots for trees to grow. Again, like I said, it's not the most super efficient, but I don't have to do anything. As long as I'm around in the vicinity, it will continue to grow. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take you to my test world and show you where I've been playing with that and kind of give you an idea what it's going to look like. So, we'll be right back. Alright, and here we are in our test world. This, first of all, was to, we'll call it proof of concept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All you need to grow a tree is 5 blocks above it. Well, at least for the oak trees. And that's important in our design for what we plan on doing here. The next step was to design a simple. I'm kind of getting the realization that most of my designs here are trying to go for a simple nature. So here is our automatic tree planting. We have a detector block up here. When the tree grows up to this point, well, when it grows, it's automatically it's going to be there. We're going to get 4 blocks of wood plus 1 leaf is what's going to fit underneath here. We are going to get, I'll come over on this side, a redstone signal which comes down here, and it will be inverted by this redstone torch. And the reason we're doing that is because without power, our dispenser blocks are going to suck in both our sapling and our grass block down there. So when it detects that we've grown something, the inverted signal here comes down, and first we're going to lose our block of soil, and then after 6 ticks of delay, we would lose our wood, or at least our bottom thing of wood, if it weren't for the fact that we'll have saws set up. Now the reason why we want to take away this bottom block, this soil block, and we don't have to, but the problem is when the tree grows and your saw comes in and cuts it, it just lands on this block and you end up losing out on a lot of your wood, sawdust, possibly even apples. So we don't want that there. So it takes out the wood block, and with the 6-tick delay before the saw can cut, or before it can, the dispenser block can suck this back in, it'll get cut. So we come over here, and while yes, this is a bit overkill for a single, I wasn't going so much for space conservation. I just was trying to accomplish what I did, and I was getting the idea of how I would need to set up my saws anyway. So once again, you see this, we got the redstone coming in, gets inverted, the top block again has, or the top dispenser block gets delayed, so that when this thing grows, and I'll show you this here, it may take a while because, there we go, sucks out the piece of the soil, and then as soon as it cuts our, that's what I hate about these things, well, but as soon as it cuts it, it's going to take away the item in front of the dispenser block, and it will then allow us to put our soil block back out, and then with the 6-tick delay after the soil block's there, then it will place the sapling. Now we're going to have water down here because that's the easiest way to get everything gathered. I could do obsidian pipes, but it would be kind of silly on a large scale build to have that many obsidian pipes. So, proof of concept here now. When this tree grows, and you can see that's the thing, is where we want water, is not only just to catch this, but to catch the saplings that fall and any apples. Alright, so now time to upscale it. And this is what I plan on putting on the one side upstairs. And actually we're going to be going over a little wider. I mismeasured as I was kind of setting this up, but seeing as this is just my test one, I'm not too worried about it. You can see it's a little bit shorter on this side than that. This will be centered, so that'll come over here a little more to the right. And the wall is actually going to be this. So there'll be a single wide passageway to make it all the way through, allowing us access to each one of the dispensers to refill with our saplings. Again, we went with we're going with the obsidian pipe. So when this thing chops, we'll go ahead and see if we can get one to go right there. With the with the soil block disappearing, it allows all of the wood to fall into the water and get pushed into our pipes. As our leaves deteriorate, they will also fall into the water to get sucked in by the pipes, and the same with any apples that we might have fall in. I was just kind of setting this up to see if there was any noticeable difference in the number of trees that grew with an extra block, which would make it 6 high than the 5 high. Haven't really noticed anything yet. But as you can see, so we'll get our wood, we'll get some sawdust, saplings dropping in, and I got one apple so far. And then it's a little bit slow, like the wood that just dropped hasn't fallen through yet. It's probably somewhere up towards the middle. Um, I could, if I didn't care about height, I could have gone one more lower and put the regular transport pipe. No, even then I couldn't do that because the problem is inside here, if you don't have it directional, things start trying to go back and forth when they come down above it. So this is the best way. And again, as I'm not going to be sitting here really watching it as it happens, I just come and collect it from now and then. It doesn't really matter if it's kind of slow. It'll all get there eventually. You can see it right now. We got the wood coming through here now. But this will allow me to farm wood while I'm doing all my other projects. I can be off to the side or off a little further away working on my breeding and my wool and stuff like that. And this will just slowly but surely be farming me planks and sawdust and apples. So, huh. I love that sound. Must be try this one. So we are done. Well, with this floor, I now have 8 fully functioning and working hemp greenhouses, I guess we can call them. Seems fitting. Looks like this one's getting close to going. Had to do a couple adjustments due to necessary or needing repeaters. As much as I hated the way it looked, I didn't have much of a choice because I had to. This end I did a little bit longer than the other end, so the front pistons weren't activating, and I don't want to miss out. One of the I got some stuff going right now. One of the possible good byproducts of what we've done here is when I ran this over into here, I kind of, running it underneath to power my turntable. I've now given my melon farm access to mechanical power. We'll head down there real fast and take a peek. And the cool part about that is I can pretty much get rid of this now. This was my timing delay for the the melons for the water, and having access to that now, I can, whenever I get around to it. I don't know if I'm there right now. It works right now, so I don't need to, but I will be able to using the dispenser block with the half slabs, like we're using upstairs. I can do all this timing in probably about a 4 square block. So I don't need the space for anything, but just to kind of clean things up a little bit. That will be somewhere down the road. I'll probably just do it and then show it off. On Earth, did you not go down? My failed attempt at planting trees in here. And I haven't given up yet, but I think I just put the trees too close together. It didn't look, I didn't like the way it looked. So, I'll do that later. Instead of 4 apart, maybe skip 1 so there's even, we'll figure something. I want to do something in here. I just want it to be good looking. Dang it, I'm still having stuff catch over here. I don't like how that's happening. I even put the pipe facing straight down, but for some reason some of the seeds. But again, I guess it is only, no, it isn't seeds. Those are the actual hemp. Oh well. I think with the number of farms I have up there, hemp is going to be the last thing I'm worried about for a while. Had to add in some more chests over here and some more hoppers. So as you see, we're now catching pumpkins, sugar canes, melons, and hemp. I just cleaned it out just a little bit ago, so This will be my pumpkin stack, although I may end up having to move melons over because melons have already almost filled up 2. Got lots of sugar cane. And then of course we're just getting started on the hemp. Once I get my animal farm going, I can start manufacturing the stuff to make my mining charges. Just not that I really need them. My quarry's doing really well. Well, I guess we'll take a quick run out there. I've changed my mind. Big surprise, all right? I've changed my mind on the type of mob farm I want over here. I am no longer just going to cap it, put sand over the top of it. You can see I found there's kind of like a chasm in there. But what I instead want to do is I want it to go up. We're going to make this thing a monstrosity. Well, I shouldn't say monstrosity because it's going to look cool. Come up with a nice design for it, nice aesthetically pleasing. But going from all the way from the bottom all the way up, multiple spawning pads. And I need to find out if the water elevators still work. If not, may not be able to use the lower levels. Use that as kind of like do something cool like what we did with the Ender farm. Having vines catching everything from all the other levels so they all drop from the same height. That way I can farm them for experience if I want, or I can just use them for the materials. There we are. So next episode, put one more layer up top on that. And it'll be mimicking this bottom layer, so it should tie the design in, and it'll be kind of similar in height, so that'll make good space for our tree farm and also our dual layered cactus farm. Also, I need to now start going into the basement and carving that out, because with all the different items dropping down, if I let it go for a super amount of time, my hoppers will overfill, and then I'll just start losing items. So what I want to do is, if I say just send a pipe straight down from all the levels, and each level it'll have directional pipes leading into that pipe and feeding it. Once it gets to the basement, I can start using my diamond pipes to separate all the items, send them into different areas. And I just realized I don't see any mobs out there. It's the one thing I hate about going into my creative world. I was working on the tree factory, and I turn off the difficulty because I don't want to deal with mobs when I'm, in my creative world. And then I come back here, and it still keeps the setting for my creative world. I really wish that the different worlds would have their own saves. I'm gonna have to do something about this because definitely losing out on some items that are catching on the lip here. I suppose what I could do is we do have water down there. I may put widen this out a little bit and then put water in the corners pushing it so it'll catch it. But anyway, so yeah, that sucks that I'm sitting here chatting away and I'm totally on peaceful. But anyway, so yeah, so there's a good episode, I think. Got a lot accomplished up there. Got back to a little bit more BuildCrafty stuff, using some piping and things. The storage system will definitely be a cool use of my piping as well. I've been plugging away with my power plant here the whole time, mining. Water's doing all good. Everything's good and green. Got lots and lots of fuel right now, so I'm not using this. This is the one system that I'm really not completely at peace with, just because of these wood engines and the fact that when things fill up and it stops or allowing fluids to pass, that could blow it up. So probably have to look into this at a later time. All right, well, we will call that an episode then. Um, Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Give me a like. Lets me know that you guys appreciate everything. Comment, suggestions, advice, requests. I know some people are requesting, more better than wolves or the hardcore bucket mod or mode and different other things like that. And I will try to get around a lot of those things. But I'm also trying to, you know, accomplish, bettering my base as well. So I try to balance all the requests there. But I do read everything that you write, and I do try to reply to everything as well. Um, uh, Subscribe if you haven't already for future updates. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.